We are covering the 20 most frequently used naughty words, and we say these words many times. So if you are squeamish, this might not be a video for you. These are the 3 criteria that we use to determine which curse words are the best curse words. The first is emphasis and effectiveness. Does it really grab somebody's attention when you're using this word? The frequency of use and the social acceptability. How often are you actually able to use this curse word? The third and final category is the variety of context. How many different ways can you use each curse word? This is how we rank the best curse words. And again, if you're squeamish, you don't want to hear naughty words, now's your chance to go. So we're going to rank all these words and get to it. Enjoy.
Callie's here. Great.
Kelly.
All right.
Kelly, don't you lose my number.
Okay.
Good.
We're going to select the words randomly, and the first one that I have drawn is... This is a great way to start. Cock.
Oh, cock. What a great word.
So I have the technical definitions here because all swear words started somewhere, right?
Yeah. So what is a cock?
Yeah, so the technical definition, and you may even hear this used as a non-cuss word, is a male bird, and usually they use it to refer to roosters or male, like chickens, right? Cock is also a euphemism for a penis, for male genitalia. I gave cock a 6 on emphasis.
I gave it a 4.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a totally unimpressive word, and I don't think it's actually that, attention grabbing.
Yeah, and I would say that cock also, I can't think of situations in which you're not trying to be overtly sexual. Maybe in the UK, I think they might use cock more frequently, where we use dick, which we'll go over too. But
or the East Coast, like someone will say you're being a cock, or something like that. But
on the West Coast, we don't really say the word.
I mean,
cock.
you might say you're being a dick.
Okay, so frequently of use, social acceptability. I rated this as a 4, also because.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 also.
And for a variety of context, I gave this one a 3 because there's
I gave it a 3 too.
There's just 2 ways you could use this.
I love this one. When I found out what the actual definition of this was, look at me, I'm dying. Because bugger is a heretic or someone who participates in anal sex.
I think the funny thing about bugger especially is that a lot of people will use this word. Like
right,
my
yeah,
grandpa,
like people use it and they don't even realize what the hell they're talking about. So for me, the emphasis or effectiveness, I gave bugger a 6.
Oh, I gave it a 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, specifically.
I gave it a 6 just because I'm American, so in my thinking I was like, well, yeah, if you were to use it here versus being in the UK or something. Frequency of use, social acceptability, I also gave that a 5.
Me too. I gave it a 5.
You gave it a 5?
Yeah. Because I really do think that if somebody knows what it means and they may feel a little more apprehensive, I would never use that word to be you participate in anal sex. Probably because I don't super care what you do.
I gave it a 6 in a variety of contexts, right?
Oh, really? I gave it a 3.
Oh, you gave it a 3? So, I thought you'd be able to use this word in many different types of situations, whether you're describing someone annoying, maybe you're literally describing someone who's going around penetrating people in their bums, but I don't know if that...
How many names do we need for that? Is my general question.
I don't know.
Shit.
Oh, nice. She's so excited. Shit.
Emphasis and effectiveness. I gave it an 8.
Emphasis and effectiveness. I gave it an 8 also.
Nice.
High five.
Yeah. Frequency of use and social acceptability. I gave a 9. I would use this word around most people.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 as well.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yep, because, for me, you may get a couple side eyes, but most people just be like, what's wrong? What's the issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we didn't say what it meant. Shit means poop. It's like feces.
Oh, yeah.
It's what the literal definition. Yeah, but in a lot of ways, that is not what people think about when they use the word. It is in very specific context, which brings us to the last one, which variety of context, I gave this one a 9.
I gave it a 5.
Really?
Yeah, I gave it a 5.
Even though, okay, so you can use it to reference, like, you have the shits.
I did. Okay, so, right. Okay. It could mean physical things, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
But I would consider that an ailment for the most part.
But it's still...
So hold on.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Okay.
So, yes, you could get the shits, right?
Yeah.
That's like when you're not feeling well. That's a bummer.
It's like diarrhea.
You may use it to describe something bad happening, like shit, this happened.
Shit. Yeah, it's just a general exclamation.
Or it may be an exclamation of pain, which is also something bad.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 5 because yes, you can use it in different contexts, but all of them are negative.
No. Absolutely not. So if you say this video is shit, it means it's bad. But if you say this video is the shit,
Is there any other context that you can use shit that's positive though?
if you give someone shit, it's
Okay,
not
that
as
could be
negative.
a positive. It could be negative.
Yeah.
Like when you give someone shit, you're giving them maybe, you call it a hard time or something where you make them slightly uncomfortable. Usually though, it's in jest. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Fuck. Fuck means sexual intercourse.
I know that, like, when I was in school, I had a teacher in high school who said that fuck was an acronym that stood for fornication under consent of the king. But I read a couple months ago, and I read that it was actually a myth, and that was not actually what it came from. But generally, fuck, like, at its core definition, does mean to have sex with someone. It's not a very romantic way to say that you're having sex with someone, but it does mean that.
It's more about the actual machinations of it,
Yes.
not the feelings or emotions.
Yes, exactly. So emphasis and effectiveness, I gave this one an 8.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
Fuck gets your attention, like if someone's gonna drop that one, usually it means it's pretty intense. When you say, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Or when you say, that's so fucking stupid, it has an extra punch that really adds to the degree of how stupid it is,
it
right?
like gets you like in the gut. You're like,
Yeah.
this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing, like, it's levels of stupidity. I gave frequency of use and social acceptability a 6.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 too.
I wouldn't necessarily use it in every context, right?
Right.
Because there are some situations in
You
which
can really
it's not
offend
appropriate.
people with this word if you're not familiar with them and you don't know their personal levels of acceptable.
I would say that this one, especially generationally in the United States, is much more acceptable for like people under 30, like millennials and younger, than it is for people who are older. I think specifically because in the United States, especially because it has to do with sex, and people in the United States are so touchy about sexually related things, that this is why this word, even more than shit, has less acceptability, because it does reference sex.
We're sexually repressed here in the States, so we like to make sure that
know.
our swear words are sex-free also.
Everything's sex-free. Okay, so variety of context, I gave it this one a 10.
I gave it a 10 also.
Yeah.
Ching, you can use this, like I said before.
So many ways.
So many uses.
Yeah. You can say, like, fuck this, fuck that, right? Which is like in essence, like dismiss it. Yeah, like, fuck this, I'm not doing it.
Or you could be like, fuck yeah, because something awesome happened and you're stoked. You're just like, fuck
like, you're really excited. Yeah. If you say fuck you, that's like really
if you're
mean.
really angry.
Yeah.
If you say that and direct it at someone, of course, that's going to be offensive.
You can almost put fuck in the place of almost any other swear word. All right, okay, get off. And to the other end of the scale, crap. The word crap. Crap also means poop. So crap, on emphasis and effectiveness, I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 7.
What? I feel like crap is like the least punchy.
But the reason why I gave it effectiveness is because it's something that quickly gets at the heart of how you feel, right? Then it's going to be perceived as powerful because you delivered all that information with one word.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. Okay, so as far as frequently of use, I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10 also.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to really,
No one cares if you use this word.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 3 on variety of context.
Well, it sucks for you. I gave it a 7. I think it can be used in a lot of ways. Because you can guys say things that are crappy, as in, like, that's, like, sucky that it happened. You can also mean, like, the low quality of something, like something that isn't of a high quality you would call crap. If you're feeling sick, you're like, I gotta go take a crap. Or,
Gotta take a crap.
Or I feel like crap. All right. It's balls.
Balls.
The balls we're talking about typically are testicles, right? Because they'll say, like you'd say, I'm gonna kick you in the balls.
For emphasis and effectiveness, I gave this one a 2. I think it's...
I gave it 5 for the hilarity factor. Frequency of use, I think, no one's going to have a lot, but I don't know how often you get the opportunity to talk about your balls.
Yeah, I gave it a 10. You gave it a 6.
6, I gave it a 6. I gave it a very low variety of context, though. I mean, you're only talking about balls. So
yeah, I gave it a 2.
yeah,
in variety of context.
I gave it a 4.
Shag. So shag, when I was growing up, shag was a type of carpet. It also means sexual intercourse.
But it's like a nicer way instead of saying the F word. I think it's more acceptable in public realms.
I gave shag a 2. On emphasis.
I rated it higher strictly on the basis that it's not frequently used here in the States.
But I gave it an 8 on frequency of use because I do know that there are places where this is used somewhat commonly.
I give it a 4. I don't.
Yeah.
You're only talking about sex. Frequency of use relates
Well, that
to...
would be context, though. That's why I gave it a 1 in variety of context.
Oh, ass!
Ass!
So
Ass.
the definition of this one is a donkey. It's like the animal.
It's like the
But
Bible.
we use this word to reference ya bum.
Ya butt.
Ya backside.
Ya butt. Ya ass.
Yeah.
Well, I gave this one a 3 on emphasis and effectiveness.
I gave it an 8.
Really?
Yeah. So if someone's being an ass and you tell them they're being an ass, you can definitely get their attention. And then if you add hole to the end of it, it gets really intense. Asshole.
For frequency of use and social acceptability, I gave this one an 8. Because I think that most uses of the word ass are
I said 10. I mean, you can use
acceptable.
this anywhere. I mean, you can use it in front of your grandma. You can use it in front of, your
I
mom.
wouldn't say asshole in front of my grandma. As far as variety of context, I gave this one a 6. I think it's pretty middle of the road. There are a lot of different ways that you can use it, and
I gave it a 10, but I was probably generous. Yeah. I mean, I think you can use it to describe how someone's behaving. You can use it to describe how you're feeling, like you feel like ass.
All right. One of my favorites. Bitch. Technical definition is a female dog, wolf, fox, or otter. I gave bitch a 6 for effectiveness. And
I gave it a 7 because you can definitely make people hot
by saying bitch.
by calling them a bitch.
Yeah, and people also, depending on how people feel about the word, they will think it's more or less derogatory.
Like if someone's being a bitch,
right? If someone's being a bitch,
they're
that's like a
being
really
like
specific
almost
thing.
like a child. Like they're not even being an adult.
Like my mom, when we were younger, she would be like, "Stop bitching," right? Which means like stop whining. So it's generally like this, like kind of. I would say
it's immature.
People who are
amateurish
immature
kind of
that
approach.
are overly focused on their own problems.
Yeah,
they're a bitch. A frequency of use, I would say this is a 7.
Yeah.
Most people, I would feel comfortable talking.
I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7 for variety of context because I think there are a lot of ways in which you can do this. Like if I'm like messaging my friend something funny I found on Instagram, I'll be like, hey bitch, like
check this out.
Check this out. Or like you're my bitch. Like,
I mean, I gave it a 7
you're
also.
my good friend.
I gave it 7s across the board. I mean, people will say like it's bitching to say it's actually
awesome.
positive.
Yeah, like if something's bitching, it's like, oh, this is so good. Like, oh, I love this.
All right. Ooh, this one. Damn. Condemned to hell.
That's the technical definition, which is also why I think this one falls at a 3 on my effectiveness scale, because people don't worry as much as they used to about being damned.
Funny.
Why?
I gave it a 9.
What?
Yeah. Think about it. You're just randomly walking by, you hear someone at their desk, and they say, damn it, you're not going to look at least.
No, I wouldn't.
And see.
I wouldn't, actually. If they said shit, though, I would look. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like on the range of possibilities, like, damn, I feel like, it's like, yeah. Damn by itself, I gave a 9 on frequency of use.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.
Yeah, this is pretty common. Variety of context, I gave it a 2 because there really aren't that many
I gave it a 5.
uses for it. Haha, pussy! The technical definition of this is a cat or a vagina. If one of my friends needs to go ask their boss for a raise that's been due to them for like a year, but they won't go ask them for it, I'll be like, you're being a pussy.
That's the way that I think most people use the word pussy, is to describe somebody who is a coward. Who's being showing cowardice. Right? Yeah.
So for frequency of use and social acceptability, I got a 6. As did you. Yep.
People don't like it.
Variety of context, I gave this one an 8.
I gave it a 3.
I think that there are a lot of ways that people can use this, and I definitely think that depending on like your cultural experience with this word, people will feel differently about it.
But this is a word that for some people, if you use it, you can be damaging. So, I gave it a very low ranking because I think, to use this one requires discretion. All right. Oh, nice. The counterpoint to pussy is a dick.
Good. I'm glad this one came next.
Dick. Dick
Yeah.
just means penis.
When someone is acting like a dick.
Right? It's another way of saying you're being a jerk, you
Yeah.
know? If I want to, I like this one, and I gave dick a 7 on emphasis and effectiveness because
I
I
gave it a
think
7 too.
when
Yeah.
you tell someone they're being a dick, it's going to stop them in their tracks, much
Yeah.
like the word
You're being a
ass does. So when people get targeted as being a dick, or, you know, someone that's
Most
viewed
people
as
will
being...
care.
Yeah, they care.
Yeah. I don't want to be a dick. On frequency of use and social acceptability,
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 7. I think
Yeah.
it's fairly acceptable, you know.
It's fairly acceptable in the instances in which you should be using it. As far as variety of context, so I gave it a 3 because there aren't a ton of situations in which you would use this.
Yeah,
So,
I gave it a 4.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. The technical definition, in case you don't know, is the source of the Christian religion. That guy, Jesus.
That guy. For many religious people, this is like the worst one, right? This is like saying God's name in vain.
I think the funny thing about this is, even though there are a lot of Christians in the United States, that there are a lot of Christians that will use Jesus Christ as an expletive because they have all of that sentiment attached to the name.
Yeah.
That it in certain situations it does add the punch because
Right.
that is what's required of curse words. I gave this one an 8 as far as emphasis. Saying before.
I gave it a 10, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I always felt like if I dropped this one in the wrong place,
Yeah.
you know, people would stop their track.
As far as frequency of use and social acceptability, I gave this one a 6.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. I mean, although I feel like you're definitely going to get a lot of Christians' attention by using this, you know, the most you're going to get is side eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe someone, if you're in like the Midwest or somewhere in the
They
deep
ask you to
South,
not to.
they might like get in your face about it and be like, you know, you shouldn't be saying those things. But
And then don't.
yeah, and then,
Someone
you know,
doesn't
just
want
out
you
of
to.
courtity,
Just
right?
be nice.
Like, yeah.
Just don't. But as far as variety of context, I gave it a 4 because there's not a lot of ways.
Yeah,
you can
I
use
gave it
this.
a 5. Pissed. This means angry in an American context, but also drunk or urinating.
So as far as emphasis and effectiveness, I gave this one a 6.
I gave it a 7.
I think the interesting thing about it is that it's not super punchy. Like you're not necessarily going to get people's attention, but you are going to get a very specific message across. Like if you're at work and you have an interaction with like a really annoying customer, and then you go to your boss and you're like, you know, they were really pissed, right? That means something specific. Like that means they're like angry. I gave this one a 10 as far as frequency of use and social.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
I
7 and
use
7.
this one pretty frequently.
Variety of context, though, pretty narrow.
I gave it
You're
a
either
2.
angry or drunk.
Yeah,
Or
angry.
drunk and angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 3, so.
Ooh, hell. Realm of suffering after death. Hell has a lot of other uses now as a swear word. So you can tell someone to go to hell. I would say that if someone has made me that mad, then we're probably in a situation where I'd probably go tell them to fuck themselves too. Like they would happen. Like,
Yeah, they're
go to
interchangeable.
hell.
If you're going to say go to hell, you might as well say go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But that being said, I still gave it a 5 because there are a lot of ways in which you could use this and it's not quite as punchy. Yeah, I think I scored that one a little low. What did you give it?
I gave it a 9. Just to be clear here, gave the frequency of use and social acceptability a 9 also.
I gave it a 10.
Right? So, you know, on some level you may think they're, you know, they are not always in unison, right? They counteract one another, right? Something that's really going to get your attention is probably something that's not frequently used, which can be the case. But some of these words are just really good at getting people's attention.
As far as variety of context, though, I only gave it a 3. I don't think there's a lot of ways you can use this.
I gave it 7, but I think that's over.
See, that's why both of us had to
Because
do
it
this.
could be the destination, right? It could be in dismay. It could be like telling someone to piss off or go fuck themselves.
Oh my
go to
hell, holy hell.
Yeah, pick a word.
I saw this one before I grabbed it, but it's one of the last ones in there. So, cunt. Cunt. Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, this word
Cunt
is like so frowned upon.
It's kind of like pussy that way, right? Because cunt does refer to a vagina, by the way.
It really has come to represent a type of behavior.
Yep. Cunt has the weight that fuck had 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's heavier.
Like I have said in the past that I think cunt is the new fuck, which is why, as far as like punchiness and emphasis is concerned, I gave this one a 10 because if
I
you're
gave it a
using
10 also.
yeah, if you're using this word, like
you better understand the context in which you're using it.
as far as frequency of use and social acceptability, I gave this a 3, which is the lowest that I gave any of them.
I gave it a 2,
Yeah.
and that was also my lowest frequency and use of acceptability. People have to earn this one.
So variety of context, I gave it a 3 as well.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, there's not a lot of ways, and that, like we said before, when you need to use this word, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's a really specific type
So
of thing.
although it has a high emphasis and effectiveness, its overall score is not that high.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of ways that you can use this.
Oh, more genitalia. This one I like because it's also actually, although it's a genitalia thing, I think it is more descriptive of people and their behavior. It means a penis or to make a small hole in.
Yeah, you can use
So
prick
like
as a verb.
pin prick.
I think it's funny that if you use it to reference a penis, it's like
A little stab.
yeah, like a little stab, right? That's kind of where it became derogatory. I feel like when you're talking about it as in a behavioral context, prick is something very specific. Again, prick is somebody who's being rude and thinks they're better than you.
Yeah. It's
like somebody who's a prick is like, you know, like they're just
whereas,
like the shit or whatever.
Whereas the C word or cunty, like if someone's being cunty or a cunt.
Yeah, they're
being really, really like mean, and they could be derogatory, but they're mostly just being angry and mean, right?
Yeah.
Whereas someone who's pricky, they're being mean, but it's out of an arrogance, right?
Yeah, and it might be slightly more subtle too. Like, typically if someone's being a prick, they're not being directly mean to me. They're just kind of a prick. Like they're just walking around being like.
It can be direct though.
It can be direct, but then I also might use the word dick too.
Yeah,
Like then it might shift into dick territory.
As far as emphasis and effectiveness, would you give it?
I gave it a 4.
You gave it 4. I gave it an 8. Prick, I think, carries more weight, not because of the severity of the word itself, but because it's really about the person and their behavior. People care how they are perceived in many instances, maybe even more than actually how they feel about things.
Like frequency of use and social acceptability, I would give it a 9. Like
I gave it a 4. You can use this word and people aren't going to be like shocked by it.
Yeah. Variety of context, I gave it a 1. There's not a lot of ways that you can use this, like almost none. There's that like one thing.
I gave it a 3. Oh, we still got a couple more.
It's up 3 more. Ooh, bastard. A technical definition is someone whose parents weren't married. I think largely people don't use it that way. And that's also why maybe this one isn't used as much anymore, is because we don't really care whether or not somebody is married. Especially because the funny thing about it is that it has nothing to do with the parents necessarily, and all to do with the child, who had absolutely no participation in that decision at all. I don't use the word bastard a lot. Like that's not one.
The only thing I can think of is like you bastard.
Yeah, you bastard. And I feel like that's
and whatever that means, it's mostly just like, I'm mad at you.
I gave that one a 4 on emphasis because it's not really emphasis and effectiveness.
Okay, yeah, I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Frequency of use, though, I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10
you
too,
can use
because
that.
nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. You can use that anytime.
Yeah.
It's totally acceptable.
That being said, if someone's parents weren't married when they were born, don't call them a bastard, though. That doesn't mean you can go around calling people that, because it's not any of your business. Variety of context, again, I gave it a 1 because...
I gave it a 4. It actually references a vagina also.
Also, yeah.
Twat,
yeah. The funny thing about twat is that I feel like where cunt is much more like vitriolic, twat is more of an annoyance.
I also think it can be referencing someone you think is dumb, like adult.
Yeah.
Someone
like
who's being a twat, they're being dumb.
Which is why I gave it a 5 on the effectiveness and emphasis.
I gave it an 8 just because it's not used as frequently, and so if you call someone a twat, it's definitely going to get their attention.
Because it's more rare.
This is the last word.
This is one of my favorite words.
The bowl of words is empty.
The bowl of words.
Douche.
Douche canoe.
French for shower. When we talk about the word douche, we're talking about vaginal cleansing devices.
I gave this one a 7 on as far as effectiveness.
Yeah, I gave it a 7 also because it's another thing that's like where it's directed at you and like you don't really want to be called a douche. It's like aloof and negative, right? It's almost like arrogance. Then you're like, you know what? You're being a douche. And that's why it has the effect that I was talking about, right? Because when you hear it, you're like, wait, what? And it's like you're immediately taking your pulse of the situation.
Like, how was I being a douche?
Wait, what led directly up to this moment where I became a douche?
Yeah, like why?
And then
what happened to lead me here? So frequency of use and social acceptability. I give this one a 9.
Yeah.
I would say this one, and if it was applicable, I would use this.
I gave it an 8.
As far as variety of context, I gave it a 6.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
4.
Yeah, because I think you're either talking about
I think I scored that one.
The actual device, the cleaning sponge or whatever, where you're talking about, someone behaving in a way that's aloof and asshole-like.
The definitive rankings have been...
Scientific study here.
Yes, our scientific study has concluded, and we now have the top 20 best swear words ranked. We're going to start at the bottom. Number 20, our loser on this list, but still a very precious word, shag. Number 20. Next at 19 is cock, and then we had a tie at 17 for bugger and twat. And then we had another tie with prick and balls. Then at 14 we have cunt. Bastard is 13, pissed is 12, dick and damn were tied at number 10. Then we have pussy at number 9, crap at 8, Jesus Christ at 7, douche and bitch tied for number 5. And then we have, for our top 4, hell, number 4.
Hell, that was a surprising one.
I mean,
I kind of felt it as its importance as we were doing the scoring, but that it's really in the top 5, I think is kind of shocking.
I think 3 and 4 are both shocking that they're in the top 5. Hell and ass.
Yeah.
I think it's because they ultimately still are very versatile swear words.
Right. Versatility goes a long way.
Yeah, versatility. Even if they don't necessarily pack as much punch all the time, there are still circumstances in which they do, right? They've been able to maintain some of that old glory that they had.
Right.
So yes, ass is number 3, and then we have shit at number 2, which leaves
Numero uno.
fuck. Yes, so number 1 is fuck, which I am not surprised that fuck and shit were at the top of the list. I was very surprised though, definitely by ass and hell. Those were the...
I think the interesting thing, and maybe it's the way that we scored our ranking, but it's because we are teaching English and word usage, right? So to teach you words that have a high impact as far as shock value, but very little use is not very useful.
It's important to understand cultural context, and I think it brought up a lot of good conversations. And if you think that we left words off of this list that should have been on it, tell us in the comments, because I am sure that you have a lot of opinions about what we left off.
Give us your take.
Yep.
Tell us what you think you would do in the same situation.
Yes, and ultimately, swear words are something that carry a lot of cultural significance, and we are only 2 people in this vast world of over 7 billion. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, and subscribe to our channel.
If you haven't already, subscribe, give us a like, and we do this a lot, so we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you on Monday.
Ciao.
Bye, motherfuckers.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Yes. Right, this is the only time we get to sign off videos with curse words, so hey, my bitches.